So aiming for the cup and picking the exact finishing position of each golfer for the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. So defending champ is Daniel Berger. He had a T20 at the Farmers. Where's he finishing this week, Geoff?
Yeah, I've even got some cupcakes in the oven, Jesse, for later. So I mean, I'm doing everything today, trying to keep the family afloat. But look, Daniel Berger is turned into just this, like, he's basically the Terminator. He gains like over a stroke on approach in every single event. This dude has not gained less than a stroke on approach in over 12. I can't even count that high. Over 12 events. He's so consistent ball striking these days. He's a guy who can get hot with the putter. And, you know, this is the right type of course for Daniel Berger because, again, it stresses that approach play a little bit. If you do get hot with the putter on the greens at Pebble Beach, I mean, you can certainly pick up a lot of strokes on the field. And it's just a little bit of an easier setup, which I think favors Berger. His around the green game can sometimes be a little suspect. But, look, he won last year. He's playing good. I'd be pretty shocked if he didn't put in another top 10 here, to be honest. So he's not going to be my pick to win, but he could definitely go back-to-back. He's already picked up a fifth-place finish at the Tournament of Champions. That's a trend we like early in the season, these guys putting up top finishes. I got Berger pegged for a top 10. I think in DFS, betting, you know, he may be a little bit too short, but for DFS, definitely a player you want to just anchor your lineups around.
Yeah, Geoff, do they rotate on all three courses out there, or is it just like two?
They're back to the three courses, yes. Okay. Last year there was only two because there was no Pro-Am because of the COVID. There's three courses in play this week. They got Spyglass, Monterey Peninsula, and of course Pebble Beach. They play Pebble Beach twice, once during the week and then on Sunday.
All right, well, I can confirm you are guaranteed a better putter than Will Zalatoris, and it's a shame that Reed T. Fowler's not here today because I know he's very passionate after the meltdown we saw, but Luke List rising up. So Willie Z losing to Luke List in a playoff. Can Zalatoris make it back-to-back top fives? Can he actually make a putt within 5 feet?
I mean, I'm glad we brought up Luke List, the guy I told Reed to bet on, and he didn't listen to me. So it is probably good that he's not here, to be honest. Look, Zalatoris is another player who, I mean, he just gains so many strokes, tee to green and off the tee and on approach. I mean, 7.9 strokes gained on approach. His problem is, and this is what he doesn't share with Berger, is he's just, like you said, he doesn't putt as consistently well. His around the green game has gotten better, but I mean, for me to peg him for a top 10, yeah, I can't give him the same kind of like backing that I can for Daniel Berger. He doesn't quite have the experience on Pebble Beach, and experience is a big thing here. I mean, I threw up a trend on Twitter. You can go there at the Fantasy Grind, check that out. I'm not going to go over it here, but it basically says experience matters. You've wanted to play this course a few times, and generally most of the past champs have played this course a few times before they kind of get through here. So just from the lack of experience, the low-end putting that Zalatoris brings us, especially on Poana apparently, I'm going to peg him for like a top 25. We'll say like a T20, but I'm not going to give him the upside that Berger has because I just don't think he's quite there yet. When he becomes a more consistent putter, this guy's going to absolutely rack up some wins, but looks like we're still a few months away, at least, from that.
All right, Geoff, Patrick Cantley was T3 last year at this event, and he's the favorite this week. So how's he going to play?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to play well because he's Patrick Cantley, and that's just what he does. I mean, this guy is perhaps the most complete player in the game, maybe outside of Jon Rahm. I mean, he's certainly up there. This is a dude who can get hot with the putter whenever he kind of feels like it, and he likes this course. I mean, he likes Pebble Beach. You know, this guy can just get super hot with his irons too. So was runner-up here to Daniel Berger last year, actually struggled on the greens a little bit, and that's probably the only thing that might hold Patrick Cantley back this year. But, you know, he looked pretty good at the start of that last event that he played at the American Express, put in, I believe, an opening round 60 or 61, I can't remember, but he's not far off. I think Patrick Cantley probably coming in here with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because he did get pipped by Berger in the final round here last year. This is the course setup he likes. I'm going to just peg Patrick Cantley for the win this week because it's never a bad idea to just pick a winner from the top of the board. And Cantley is the cream of the crop in this field by a long shot. So I'll go with the favorite here. I think Patrick Cantley probably picks up a win this week.
Well, Spieth, who tied with Cantley, right, for third place here last year. Like, where do you see him ending up on Sunday?
Yeah, Spieth. I think Spieth maybe even come in with the lead last year and then kind of fell back. And that's the thing with Spieth. He's just simply not as consistent as some of these other players that I've mentioned. He's not as consistent a ball striker as Berger or Cantley. He can get hot with the putter, though. The problem with Spieth is he's looked quite off in his first 2 starts, and it's not a big sample size. It's not something to worry about long term. He's probably going to put it together by the time we get to Augusta. But losing strokes off the tee and on approach last week, he lost over 4 strokes on approach at the Century Tournament of Champions, which wouldn't have been that big a deal if he had bounced back last week. But Spieth at this tournament has been money. I mean, he absolutely loves Pebble Beach. He loves the setup. His around the green game gets him around Pebble Beach because the greens are so small. Everybody misses a lot of greens here, and Spieth is able to recover so beautifully because of his good short game. So he's a past champion. He's got a bunch of top 10s, but he's just not really playing that well. I'm going to peg him for a made cut, but I'm going to say like T30 or something because I just don't think his game is quite where he wants it to be. I'm sure he'll get there soon, but not super bullish on Spieth. I'd rather pay up for one of those other guys I mentioned.
All right, Jason Day tied for 3rd last week. Does he have another top 5 in him?
Oh.
I mean, I know. Jason Day is kind of like a walking headache because, of all the top players we're talking about, he is the hardest to project. Before last week, he hadn't posted a top 40 finish on the PGA in 8 starts, which kind of gives you an idea that this performance from the Farmers just came out of nowhere. Now, if you follow Jason Day, he is like the most elite POA putting person on the PGA Tour. His POA putting stats are off the charts. He loves the Farmers. He loves this time of year. He loves Pebble Beach. He's finished top 10 here in each of the last 6 versions of this event. So he always does pop up at Pebble. So maybe this isn't like as big a headache as I'm making it out to be. I'm just going to peg him for a top 10 because he's come in here in the past not playing well, not off a good result, maybe off a missed cut, and he still finishes top 10. That's just how good he is at managing his game around Pebble Beach. Still hasn't picked up the win here, but he gained strokes everywhere last week. Gained strokes off the tee and on approach. He's healthy. If Jason Day is healthy, he's still a very good player, and the putter is getting hot. I think you got to peg him for a top 10 this week.
Very frustrating golfer, indeed.
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
about a long shot, Geoff, you believe has a chance to finish top 10?
I mean, this is the event. This is it. Pebble Beach always throws us some curveballs. Who could forget Vaughn Taylor taking down Phil Mickelson in the final round 2016? My countryman, Nick Taylor, overcoming Jason Day, somebody we just talked about in the final round 2 years ago. Let's go with Kevin Chappell, a West Coast boy. He's got some good results at Pebble Beach. Finished T8 here 3 years ago. He's made 3 cuts in a row now, gained over 3 strokes on approach at the Farmers. Kevin Chappell still working his way back from a major injury. He's a PGA champion. Winner, though. He's won on tour before Emerson.
What?
This guy is over 2,000 to 1 in the odds. Get some bets down on Kevin Chappell. We always see crazy winners at Pebble Beach. Probably not going to be any different this year. Chappell's my guy.